Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians, and welcome to the Rotary Club of Gainesville meeting at the Cade Museum. Please remember to turn off your cell phones or silence them. And if you're joining us or watching on YouTube, please register your participation by sending an email to info@rotarygainesville.org. And now for our song and pledge, please welcome Pete Enwell to the podium.
A lawyer went duck hunting in Levy County, and he saw a duck and he shot it, and the duck flew down, dropped down, and landed in a field. And so the lawyer went to get the duck. Can you hear me okay? Just resonating? No, let me get back. Let me get closer. Now you can hear me. Probably you didn't want to hear me before. Anyway, so the duck came down in the field, and the farmer went to get it, and there was a fence. So he started to climb the fence, and a farmer came up and said, "Wait a minute, you can't climb that fence. This is my field. You be trespassing. You can't come there." And the lawyer said, "Well, I shot a duck, and it's over in your field." And the farmer said, "Well, I'm sorry. It's my duck. It's my field." And the lawyer said, "Well, if you don't let me get my duck, I'm going to hit you on the head so hard you're going to have to unbutton your collar to eat breakfast." And the farmer said, "Wait a minute, we don't settle stuff like that in Levy County. We use what we call a 3-kick method. It's much more civilized. So you kick me, I kick you. We go back and forth until one of us gives up." The lawyer said, "Okay, well, I'll give it a shot." And the farmer said, "Well, I'll go first." So he hauled off and just kicked the lawyer as hard as he could, and the lawyer was steaming and going, "Arr! Now it's my turn." And the farmer said, "Nah, you can have the duck." We're going to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Go Gators! Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never come back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Go Gators! For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. So sorry. I'm so sorry. Old people forget stuff. Would you join me in pledging allegiance to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pete. Next up, Lori Vidal with our invocation.
So I guess the question here, since the UF is playing their 3rd game in the College World Series in Omaha, should I pray for a win? Well, I guess I better pass on that, but maybe in your own spirit you can pray, okay? On that. Let's pray together. What a joy it is to see the amazing opportunities provided for all our young people to play whatever sports they want to play and to do it at whatever level they choose to play. It is so good to get the exercise and skill development that makes us all more healthy and fulfilled. Focusing on the skill sets important for each sport, for each athlete. We gather today with the intent of encouraging the pursuit of winning and not being disqualified for the prize by living a life focused on truth, fairness, cooperation, creating goodwill and teamwork that is beneficial to all concerned. Now that sounds like a good foundation for a winning team. And I pray to our Heavenly Father, our Heavenly Coach. Amen.
Thank you, Lori. And you may be seated. However, if you're a guest or visiting Rotarian, please remain standing. Matthew will bring the microphone around so you can be introduced.
Hello. Okay, I'm Jeff Montgomery. This is my guest, Stevie Doyle. Stevie Doyle is with Habitat for Humanity, and she's going to have a little presentation in just a few minutes.
Very good. Welcome.
Welcome. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. I'd like to introduce to you Tom Higgins, my friend here. Tom lives in Gainesville and works for Capital City Bank. He's a business banker, so come get his card.
Okay, with that being said, welcome to the Rotary Club of Gainesville. Wait, one more?
One more.
Everybody, we remember Penny from India. She visits us across the ocean when she has a chance to swim across, and we're happy to have her. Thank you.
Glad to have you back. And now for our first announcement, Matthew Brady.
Thank you. My good buddy Halls Adams nominated me for this announcement / presentation of opportunity. So Halls has talked to several people, and there's an opportunity with the Gainesville Women's Club, and it's not a formal Rotary project per se, but there's a group of people that would like to make a contribution towards the kitchen and be able to establish some legacy for Rotary in that legacy building. So we have $5,600 of a $10,000 goal raised privately through Rotarians and other individuals who have graciously provided. So again, soft ask, but if you would like to take advantage of this opportunity, you reach out to Hawes or myself, and we'll help get you connected. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. Next up, Jeff Montgomery.
I'd like to introduce my friend Stevie Doyle with Habitat for Humanity, and I'm not going to take any of her time because she's got something important to tell you guys.
Hello, like you said, my name's Stevie. I'm with Habitat for Humanity. I have the privilege of filling Scott Winsler's shoes, which is really hard to do, so most of you have already heard what we do. We have a great opportunity this month to receive a $110,000 grant, a donation through a tax credit program, which I hope you have heard of. We are looking for a business that remits sales tax, corporate income tax, or insurance premium tax. The sales tax is your primary one. Jeff has done this through Chevron. So if your business does any of those things, I'd love to talk with you about ways you can donate to us, get all that money back. But we have this opportunity through the end of June, and we would love to get this, to receive this, and not lose $110,000. So if you have any questions, you want to talk with me about it, you have a connection of someone that owns a business in this community, I have my business cards in the back, and I'd love to talk with you a little bit further. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you for bringing us this opportunity. And now, without further ado, I would like to bring Dana Nimini to the podium to introduce our craft talk.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. I'm going to take this honor in place of my mother, who is returning next week, because she is the official sponsor of Mr. Rob Dees. And most of us know, maybe some of the new people don't, but craft talks are 3 minutes, and they're about your craft, your family, what you like to do for fun and in the community. So without further ado, Mr. Rob Dees.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. It's an honor to be back in the group. I had been away for quite some time. I moved to Gainesville in '94 with my then girlfriend, now wife of 28 years this year. We have 2 children. My son Nico is 23. My daughter Deanna is 20. Both of them have graduated from USF. My daughter's moving back home. She'll be going to University of St. Augustine for her OT grad school. And my son is now applying to grad school for the PT track. So we're very proud of them. Before I get into the banking side of things, one of my favorite things to do, for all of you who know me and see me on Facebook, is fish. I try to go fishing as often as I can. something we love to do in Swanee, Cedar Key, Steenhatchee, all the above. I'm very excited about our annual scallop trip we have coming up. As I said, I moved here in '94. My first experience in banking, I worked at First Union. I was recruited to come over there, and banking was a lot different back then. They would put us through 16 weeks of training where we got licensed with life, variable annuity, Series 6, 63. So basically, if someone came into the area, we were able to roll over their 401k. We were able to establish a mortgage. We were able to handle all their deposit accounts. It was a true one-stop shop. And that has kind of transitioned away in modern banking. Luckily, through the time I spent at First Union, then Wachovia, then Wells for a short period, I was able to transition into the commercial world. A lot of you here know Sam Goforth. He gave me an opportunity. Sam's a great guy. I got to work for him. Greg Fleming, also another awesome Rotarian, was my mentor. He's the one who said, I'll watch out for this kid and make sure he does all right. And I do owe him my career. Great guy. After spending my time at those institutions, which were all the same, I went over to SunTrust for 7 years, and that was a great experience, great bank. At the time, I was invited to lunch by Kip Harrison, another Rotarian. He used to work with my wife at South Trust several years ago, and I figured lunch meant let's talk about an opportunity, and so that's exactly what it was. He hired me to come over and handle our larger commercial loans and acquisition and development loans, as well as builder lines. So that was new to me, and the community bank was also new to me. Capital City's been a great landing pad for me. They just celebrated our 129th anniversary. The bank's seen every type of economy you can imagine, and it's weathered them all. The culture is fantastic. They really believe in community, work-life balance, and also, you just have a true feeling of camaraderie. I'm here with some of my teammates, Dwight and Tom, and I'm blessed to have a great team here in Gainesville. How are we doing? We're good? Thank you very much.
And President-elect Ryan Thompson.
Thank you, Bill. Rob, thank you for giving your craft talk today. Hopefully this is something you're able to put on your wall at work or something to remember the 408 test, and welcome to the club.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Dwight.
So before I hand the podium back over to our incoming president, Ryan Thompson, as you know, next week is our last meeting of this Rotary year. President Linda will be back next week, but I will be out. So I wanted to take just a few minutes to thank those that have supported me. All of you have supported me, but those that I send a text to weekly saying, are you going to be at Rotary? Can you do the song and pledge? Can you do the invocation? Literally weekly text to these people, and they have put up with me all year. So anyway, Lori, thank you for coordinating the invocations. Also with the invocations, Kevin Thorpe, Deborah Newell, and Ernie Hull have helped us out. Song and pledge, Gordon on the piano. Thank you, Gordon Hubble. You do an amazing job. Pete Inwall, Jeff Sims, John Gregory, and then don't forget our trio, Brendan Shortley, Tom Collette, and Laurie Vidal on the song and pledge. I appreciate you all so much. You make my life easier, because one of the things I told President Linda is I will not be leading the song. You all are glad I did not have to lead the song this year. John Thomas, thank you for filling in as Sergeant at Arms on the few times that I was out. Thank you in advance to Jenna Ostis, who's going to cover for me next week. The tech team for keeping things flowing. Matthew Brady, Brendan Shortley, Wesley Eubanks, Jason Shank, Don Bugos, and Tom Collette. I don't want to steal Linda's thunder for next week, but these guys have kept things running, and it makes my life really easy for everything to go smooth. I hope I didn't miss anybody. If I did, I'm going to include you. in the overall thank you, when I first got up here, I was really nervous, but you guys are so kind. Everybody's been so supportive, and each week it got easier and easier. So thank you for your support and your encouragement. And now, our president-elect, Brian Thompson.
Well, good afternoon. A few of you have had a couple of questions about the letter that we sent out last week. We really wanted to serve three purposes. The first is to inform the members of their foundation giving. If you've been in the club any time, it's really difficult to understand, where you stand with your points, how many points you need to get to the next level. Some members may be newer and not even know whether they're giving to the foundation or not. So that was really the first purpose. Then we also wanted to share the importance of the foundation and its giving, programs like End Polio Now. Grants, they fund our grants for Sustainable Cambodia, the South Sudan Healthcare Organization, the Rotary-led service project for the playground at St. Francis House. All of those are only possible through our contributions to the foundation. And then lastly, we wanted to make it easy for you to be able to contribute to the foundation. At the bottom of that letter, it had a checklist. You could just check it and put a number amount or indicate to us that you want more information or that you wanted to make a certain contribution. So we really tried to make it easy for you. So if you do have any questions, I'm more than happy to speak with you. Haas Adams, Jay Norquist, I know Matthew's very familiar with it, Wesley. There's a number of us that would be happy to answer any of your questions or help facilitate your requests. The only, there are two more announcements. So RLI, we'll hit more on this, but keep an open mind for August 10th. It will be in Gainesville at the Blunt Center. Last year when they had it in Gainesville, it had been a long time since it had been in Gainesville. We really had a strong support, which I'm thankful to everybody that was able to attend. Hope you'll consider it. This time we'd like to keep that local attendance up so we don't have to drive an hour and a half to attend these. So keep August 10th in mind. And then lastly, yes, Bill. So the way I sign up probably isn't the best way for others to sign up because I go through DACDB to the calendar and understand. We will get information for you and make it easy for you to attend RLI. If you are interested, please see me, Wes, Linda, Matthew, Greg, any of us are more than happy to help you get signed up for RLI. It is a $100 fee, but we budget a certain number in the club to be able to reimburse those. So do talk to us early if you are interested. And then last, JT, happy birthday, brother. At this time, I'd like to invite Lisa to introduce today's speaker.
Afternoon, fellow Rotarians. It's my pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Joleen Caciatorre-Miller. Jolene's the Executive Director of the Gainesville Sports Commission, or the GSC. That is a non-for-profit organization founded in 1988, and its mission is to promote tourism through sporting events by hosting or helping others host events to create economic impact for Gainesville and Alachua County. Since Joleen became the Executive Director of the GSC, they have hosted over 50 events each year, brought in over 600,000 visitors into our community, and millions of dollars in direct local hotel and spending from our visitors. Joleen is a member of the Stephen C. O'Connell Advisory Board, the Sunshine Sports Council Executive Board, the Gainesville Area Chamber of Commerce, the Economic Development Committee, and U of F Sports Management Industry Advisory Council. So, without wasting any more time, please welcome today's speaker, Joleen Caciatorre-Miller.
I'm going to take this off. I walk around a lot. So thank you for the introduction and thanks for having me here. I know I spoke a couple weeks ago when Rotary was able to come over to the new Alachua County Sports and Event Center. For those that attended, you kind of had a little sneak peek of where our offices now are as part of the Gainesville Sports Commission. For about 25 years, we were downtown sharing offices with this chamber, and we've officially just moved into that new indoor center. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, also show kind of the impact of sports. It's big business. There's also a couple things that have been in the news lately. We're hosting this small international event coming up in 2025. And then we're about to get a new facility in Alachua County. So I'll speak to some of that stuff. And then if you have any questions at the end, please let me know. But like Leslie was saying, that we are a not-for-profit. We're contracted by Alachua County every 3 years. The county commissioners give the Gainesville Sports Commission tourism development tax. So anytime you or any guest or family stay at a hotel, there is a 5% tax in our county, and that goes directly to Alachua County for tourism development tax. It can only be used for capital improvements that create tourism in your area, or to host events such as cultural and arts with Visit Gainesville, and our side is sports tourism. So we also were founded in 1988, so 35 years we've been in business of sports tourism. We're one of the oldest sports tourism in the nation. Our founders were actually Perry McGriff, Frank Stayer, and Jimmy Carnes, and we've been trying to hold up and continue their legacy of building sports tourism in Alachua County. So we host around 40 to 60 events each year. And each year, if there's a new facility that comes online, we add on. So we had, University of Florida has great facilities that we can use, but now we have Champions Park. Now we have the City of Alachua's Legacy Multi-Purpose Center. Now we have High Springs BMX. And of course, our brand new facility from Alachua County, the Alachua County Sports and Event Center at Celebration Point. So that's a mouthful. But here's a quick rundown. Like I said, we receive TDT fund, or bed tax funds, or what we call. And with that, after each of our events, we have to do reporting to give back to the county to be able to get reimbursed for our grants. I lost it. There you go. There. So these are just a couple of bullet points of how we grow sports tourism, what we do on a daily basis with my team. For the most part, we're looking at different events and speaking with the event owners or national governing bodies for any state level, like Florida High School Sports, their athletic association, state championships, as well as the regionals. We also work with NCAA to see what's coming on with that, as well as USA Track and Field, USA Swimming, USA BMX. But we also can host our own events. One event that was homegrown was our Jimmy Carnes annual indoor track facility that we have each year. And now with the new facility, we've been able to bring that back. So this past year was the 10th annual Jimmy Carnes indoor track and field. It brings over 3,000 athletes all the way from 5 years old to 80 years old competing during that indoor track. But why is sports tourism so important in Alachua County, right? Not only do we have this rich sports history, but we are centrally located in the state. We are 5 hours from Miami, 5 hours from Atlanta, and people want to come here and host their event here. We have our, charming college town, but it's very easy to get to, very affordable for families. I'm sure many of you are still traveling around with your, children, grandchildren, family, friends. It's expensive. So what is a great opportunity for Alachua County to keep our locals here and have visitors come into our town? So why sports tourism? Because it's very big business, right? Our annual Sports Tourism and Commission National Foundation, Sports ETA, just came out with this study. It has sports tourism direct spending, and this is only through amateur sports. This is not dealing with college sports. This is not dealing with professional sports. Only amateur sports. It has an impact of $52.2 billion. Direct spending is over $128 billion in our local economy. And the best part is, during the National Convention, Florida is #1 out of all the states in our nation. So Florida, Texas, then California. So we're still #1. People are still coming to Florida, but we need facilities and the support. So of course, the Gainesville Sports Commission, if you saw that, we are a staff of 3. So we have a lot of help with our stakeholders and our partners. And of course, our #1 partner is Alachua County, the county board, Visit Gainesville. And we work a lot with our local parks, recreation, and departments, as well as University of Florida, Linda Reinhardt, of course. We like to use the O'Connell Center quite often. Hotels, restaurants, and local businesses, and our local sports organizations. Like I said, we're only a staff of 3. So I really talk with, Gainesville Soccer Alliance and Champions Park and their softball and Babe Ruth, because they're the ones going out of our community to these other events. And I want them to market Gainesville and Alachua County to bring the event here. So they're kind of our salespeople as well, first point of contact. So every year, to continue our contract with the county and making sure that we're using our bed tax to bring in more visitors, we have to present our numbers. So we're always a year behind. So this is from last year's fiscal numbers that we went through. And if you can remember, the event center finally did open up officially in June 2023. So through the TDT tax or bed tax that Alachua County gives to us, we were able to host 43 sports tourism events. There was 15 different sports that were hosted throughout from there. So wide range. We have a lot of different niche sports that we're able to host. Archery, BMX, and indoor track, all 3 very niche sports in our community that not a lot of other counties have. Majority of the sports events are on weekends, of course, especially if you're dealing with youth traveling. 22 events were held 2 days. 19 events were held 3+ days. 2 events were 1 day, so that made up 108 event days we were able to host in our county. We always try to look for those 2+ days because the more we have visitors staying in our hotels, the more bed tax gets generated to go out into our community and help fund these other festivals and music and other events. So we're always looking how we can replenish the bed tax. So from our 43, we worked with 35 different national governing bodies or event owners and organizations. So these are local organizations that we worked with. This is the state level organizations we've worked with. Regional, national, so you're thinking AAU basketball, AAU volleyball, and then these are the national governing bodies that we were able to work with. So for the 43, we were able to work with 35. We really want to be diverse. We can't continue to host a softball event every single weekend. The teams will just stop coming. So we're always looking how we can get into a new sport or a new sport organization. So from those events, 18 different facilities were used in Alachua County as well. So everyone always thinks, oh, all of our events, for especially the big one events, we're always on campus. That's not true at all. A lot of the times our events are over in Newberry, in Alachua, High Springs in a couple of weeks, and some in Gainesville. But you can really see the different diversities of our different facilities. So with all those number breakdowns, I always like to scale it. This is what we came up with for this past year. So with 226,702 bed tax funds that Alachua County gave to us, we are able to create over 41,000 room nights, and that's hotel room nights from the visitors. And that was an estimated impact of $6.4 million in only local hotels. That's not direct spending. That's not how much hotel room and dinner and then going to Publix. This is just hotels, and this is what we're scaled on. Estimated hotel replenishment, we replenished over 343,000 back, so we made a little bit too. And then also hotel sales tax. So that's state and local sales tax. You saw was over $550,000. So with every $1 of the tourism development tax that the county gave us, we were able to create $28 to the local hotel. So we're able to get back. So we're at that much of return for local hotels. Direct spending is a whole different animal, and we'll go over that in a second because it's very hard to quantify. Each event's different. youth, adult, 1 day, 2 day. So the main thing that we know we can get from our hotels serving the participants and doing the research is the amount of hotel room nights. And that's what we care about because we want to replenish that bed tax. And those are true visitors coming into town. A little bit more breakdown. So we had over 100,000 total attendees come this year, which was great. 81,474 were out of area. So they're out of county traveling in and staying in a hotel. And only about 20,000 were local participants here. So we were over at 81% of out-of-county participants for our events. So that's great. We always try to keep that 75 to 80. I like to always push it to 80 lately with our events. And here's where you can kind of see a good snapshot of total spending. We work with the State of Florida Sports Commission, the Florida Sports Foundation, and they have a calculator that they calculate fairly through all the communities. And we won last year Mid-Market Venue of the Year, and it was over at Champions Park in Newberry. And this is the reason why we were able to host 16 sports tourism tournaments or college showcases. So the college showcases are, 3 to 4 day tournaments with these top tier teams that travel out of state mostly to come in and get recruited by colleges and universities. So the Florida Sports Foundation only studies on out of state participants. And this park brought in 9,273 out-of-state participants during those 16 tournaments. The direct out-of-state economic impact was $5.1 million. So that's out of state. That's not even, Miami or in-state. That's out-of-state funds coming in. It generated over 15,766 room nights, and the total attendees were 43,000. So total daily spending from their number, the state number, these 16 tournaments brought in over $14 million to our county just by these 16. So you can kind of start seeing sports is big business now. This is why everyone's starting to build some facilities. This facility is actually 11 years old now, but its main focus, the majority of those state championships or national college were all fast pitch softball. And that facility was, if you can remember a long time ago when it first got built, that was strictly for youth youth baseball. So they've really changed and remarketed it to really get those large scale impacts, which is great. So it was exciting to get that. So I always like to ask a couple little questions here, and you may be getting a custom Gator pen. We'll see. So all the states from all of our sports events last year, how many states were represented from our events? Who said 48? Okay, yes, 48. So I don't know what's going on with the Dakotas, but we're gonna get there one day. So here, this is customized. Don't try to sell it. It's priceless right there. So, and then I always like to ask this question too. You saw how many different sports we were able to host throughout. Which one sporting event, the one that we hosted, had the most states represented? Not yet. Pickleball, we just got the indoor courts, it's coming. All right, it was archery again this year, yes. So we had 41 states, and they all, okay. So the Gator Cup Archery is with USA Archery. It's homegrown, so we worked with the Easton Foundation for its annual year. They came to us and said, we want to host this national archery tournament. And we were able to put together, and it has slowly grown to now this whole weekend. We actually just had the Paralympic trials here too. Not a lot of people know that because it's archery, it's a niche sport, but we always have 40 plus different states come into the archery. They always bring in the most amount of states represented, not just cities, but states. So through May 12th through 14th, 41 states were represented in the city of Newberry at the Easton Archery Center. So just think about that. They're flying in, they're coming, traveling with us. So a couple highlights that I told you we'll talk about. The indoor center that most of you were able to come by and see, that was Alachua County put $30 million of tourism development tax to build that center. The state of Florida then paid $2.3 million for the indoor bank track, and then Viking put in another $2 million to build that garage. So there was a lot of private partnerships going on, but it officially opened finally. We're super excited, June 2023. And when there's new facilities, there's new business. Right now, before this facility, the most volleyball courts we had in this area was 4 over at the city of Alachua, the Legacy Project. So this opens up, we now have 18 volleyball courts, 10 full-size basketball courts, 21 pickleball courts. So we are going after a state championship for pickleball with USA Pickleball, hopefully soon. And then the square foot is 90,000 square feet of uninterrupted space. So semi-trucks were fitting in there when it was getting built and we were doing walkthroughs. So the size is massive and it's just getting bigger and bigger. This past weekend, we hosted the Florida Association of Basketball Coaches girls tournament. It had 100 girls teams. The next 2 weekends, we're hosting the boys teams. This weekend, we have 130 boys basketball teams. And then the next weekend, I believe we have 140. So they're here, which is great. This will be the second year. It was 2 weeks last year. They grew it to 3 weekends. So when a new facility opens up too, my job is to go out and bring all the different event owners and governing bodies and come and get a site visit with us, right? So when it was being built, we started doing site visits. And then when it opened, we started doing a lot more. So we made a lot of new friends. So we were doing a lot of different site visits for the indoor center. The highest level one was the World's Masters Athletic. That's for athletes 35 and older, and it's World Athletics. So we invited them to come by and see. We worked with USA Track and Field and their master's program to first do that site visit. And then this past December, we had them come and do a tour of the facility. They liked it. They signed the contract. So you might have been reading that with the news lately. But with all those different site visits, we were able to lock in a couple national championships and international. So this past year, we hosted our first national championship at the Indoor Center, National Junior College Athletic Association, and their indoor championship. We also hosted the ASUN Championship. Both events have never been in Florida. We also just won the USA Track and Field Masters National Championship. And then NAIA and their indoor track and field meet will also be in 2025, following the World Athletics Masters Championship in 2025 in March. So we went from not hosting any international or national championships in track and field to now hosting over 4 in a matter of 2 years. So we're super excited about it and looking forward to 2025. So we need some volunteers. So since it's officially opening in June of 2023, they've hosted over 115 different types of events. So it's not all just sports. There's also exhibits and showcases. By 50,000 attendees. And then it has so much created 11 million in economic impact. And it's still going. So this is the past from last year's numbers. And with that, that will be the international, that's the indoor that you guys weren't able to see last time when you were here. So with that, if you have any questions, let me know.
Okay, my team and I had the extreme privilege of closing on West End Golf Course Friday with the county. Can you tell us what's going to happen there? Because it's been a sort of a secret. I'm on a gag order.
So we're very excited about West End, to say the least. With this Masters National or International Championship, we needed a cross-country course. We actually don't have one in Alachua County. So with this WMA, is what it's called, we needed that. And the county said they would like us to move forward and bid on it. a local organizing committee was created for it, and we started looking around for sites to possibly host. And there was some different ones, maybe some things that were temporary, but the county was saying that West End was on their master plan for their parks, and this kind of sped up the process because we need this cross-country course as well as outdoor throws. It says, oh, thank you. What service, thank you, I appreciate it. It says it's an indoor national or international event, but because it's Worlds, there's 24 other sports going on. So there's an indoor, during these 8 days in 2025, there's going to be an indoor track meet, then there's going to be a 5K race, 5K race walk, then there's going to be outdoor throws, javelin, discus, shot put, and then there's also going to be a cross country, to say the least. So all that is going on. It's called indoor championships, but it's a lot different. So this has sped up the process. At this point, they're clearing the land and starting on the cross-country course. We have until December to get the course and the outdoor throws area done or look like it might be finished. The World's WMA is coming back in December to do their final visit. So when they came to do their site visit in December, we took them to West End and we had a big board and said, use your imagination. This is what it could look like. And that started the talks about everything. So we gave them a couple options for this. It would be a permanent site and another one would be temporary. The county stepped up and wants to have that park there. I think it's an incredible space for that. And a cross-country course is grass. It's a grass course. So it's gonna be a very passive course, which is great. So you can run on it, no traffic, but also because of the throws, it has to have a large amount of field space for javelin. So that's what it's going to get ready for this event. And then after that, they're looking at creating other elements of it, but we're super excited because now I'm going to start going after cross-country bids and hopefully get the state finals here for high school, as well as some USA track and field cross-country. So we're excited because new facilities mean more business, new business, more impact. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun taking them there to the rundown building. Yeah, I can only imagine, yes. But we're excited. I can't wait to see the finished product, and it's going to be a wonderful park.
Hey, and as a neighbor in Jonesville, that makes us super happy because we had a lot worse alternatives to that. My question to you is, have you ever considered using the Jonesville Rotary Park for your, as a part of your venues?
Yes, so the Jonesville Rotary Park, we have looked at that. It's not enough space because of the circles and the javelin runway, basically. Oh, so we work, yes, so we work with GSA. We have, I'm actually trying to get them to host, there's a NERSA, it's National Intramural Sports for Recreation for the college. The intramurals over at UF is very competitive, to say the least. There's a Southeast Regional. They're looking for a location. We hosted them about 3 years ago. They want to come back. It's just the field scheduling. That's the largest amount of fields we have in one location in our county too. So the next up, hopefully, will be some more fields, maybe over by this side, by Citizens Field too. But yes, we do. And we're putting in a bid for Sunshine State Games and the State Senior Games, and that has tennis. And that's where we've hosted the senior games over at the Jonesville Tennis Center. But yeah, that's a great park. The fields are packed, you know, that's the largest amount of fields that we have. So we try to fit when we can in there. And I know they're trying to grow back their Gator soccer showcase that GSA had. Mm-hmm.
Joleen, great presentation. Just exciting to see all these things going on. I'm curious as to how somebody can sign up with you guys to be a volunteer. I know that's probably going to be more contingent around events and stuff, but then the other part of my question was the parking that you have at your venue was free. I thought that was great to be able to come and park and not have to pay. And is that something that ongoing there may be charged for parking, or how will it be set up?
Oh man, you guys are putting me on the spot here. Here we go. So first about volunteering, absolutely, especially the 3 national championships for indoor track next, basically February through March. On our website, GainesvilleSportsCommission.com, we do have a place to get involved, and you can fill out the volunteer information right there. It goes right to us, and then you'll just get put on our volunteer list to when we have some events that we need some help with. Also, the next coming up, you'll be seeing we're actually going to have to do an all-call for volunteers. There'll be a lot of advertising for that with the local organizing committee that we're a part of. So you'll probably be hearing a lot about WMA and a lot about West End until the end of it by this point, because we are on a clock right now for this event. It's fast and quickly approaching, but you'll be seeing some advertising. It's 8 days long. It's a lot of different events. So there's a lot of different positions for you guys. And to meet, there's supposed to be over 80 different countries at this event, 4,000 athletes. Oh, and I tried to skip the parking garage, sorry. The parking garage, at this point, it is still free. I will say that. In the original plans, they were going to try to pay for parking for the events particular. I think they're still trying to figure out a plan to that, because there's also shopping and restaurants there. So how can you kind of differentiate, you know? The problem is our events start super early, so all the event attendees will get the free parking first. So they're trying to come up with a plan, but as at this point, they have not, are not planning on charging for parking until further notice.
Any final question? All right.
All right, thank you.
Well, thank you, Jolene. It really is remarkable what y'all are able to do with the Sports Commission, the impact that you have on our community, you know, the caliber of the events that you have and the draw that you have, both within our, you know, local area, but also, you know, even abroad. So thank you. Really appreciate your presentation today. In honor of you speaking with us, we'd like to make a contribution to the Bread of the Mighty Food Bank. So thank you. And let's see, next week, so Linda will be here for the year-end wrap-up and the installation of the incoming officers. The quote of the day, sports has the power to change the world, Nelson Mandela. And the drawing for our 50-50 raffle to support the Santa Fe Teaching Zoo is 299. And with that, we are adjourned.
Thanks, sir.